Welcome back to Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. In this video we are going through how you defeat the Aoye boss. I'm going to call it Aoye, don't know how to pronounce his actual name. It's spelled Aoye. And this is the toughest boss I've taken on in this game so far, besides Zhang Liang. Zhang Liang, the very first boss, took multiple attempts. I think it was like 6 or 7. Then every boss besides Zhang Liang up until this point in the game has taken no more than 2 attempts. Now when it comes to Aoye, it was about 5, 6, possibly even 7 attempts again, but I did make a big mistake that I'm going to warn you guys against, and that is going into this boss fight too early. The main battlefield you're in part 3 is very small, so make sure that you go round, you explore, you find all the battle flags and all of the marking flags so that you build up your morale rank. You are going to need this to be a maximum morale rank. The boss is rank 15, or at least it was for me, and I went in there at I think 10, then I went back in at 12 or something like that, and eventually I had to go around and just grab every single flag possible. I had to summon in a second companion. I tried with 2 companions multiple times, and the thing is, these companions, to summon them in, it requires tiger seals, and it consumes one. It fully uses one every single time you summon. So if you're using the companion that comes into the level with you, you only need to use 1 tiger seal every fail. But I tried with a load of different companions that I've got available. So I was just consuming tiger seal after tiger seal. And eventually I got all the flags. I even went to, there's like a water section before the final like cave where the boss fight is. And there's, I can't remember the name of these enemies, but they're the ones that kind of just like scale through the water or whatever you want to call it. And I took those down and I got my morale rank up to 16 before I summoned in the second companion. Because for those of you unaware, the morale rank in this game, if you have it higher than the boss, you're going to take less damage and deal more damage to the boss. Whereas if you run through the level, you don't take down any enemies, you don't grab the flags, you go in at morale rank 0, and this boss is 15, you're probably going to get one-tapped by any attack they deliver. Your morale rank is what balances out the boss fight, so grab all those flags, try and get it like 1 level above, like what the boss is, and then jump into the arena, because this one's going to be tough. And I hate this boss for the simple fact that I spawned in, and for the first like 5 attempts, every single attack to start off with was their spirit attack. The whole body glows red. It's a really powerful attack. And then when I started recording, I started feeling confident in the boss fight that I was going to take it down. Yeah, they started switching up the moves. So it just became inconsistent, it got tougher. But with this one, what I recommend is you put on some things that are going to heal you. You're going to need it because your companions don't last too long in this boss fight. They're actually kind of useless at this stage. They do help out, obviously, they take some of the aggro, but if you look at the earlier bosses, the companions can basically carry the whole boss fight. And then you look at this one, or at least in my experience, and my companions just kept dying over and over again to the point where they completely back out of the fight because they can no longer do it. So it becomes really stressful, but the things I can recommend for this boss fight is keep your distance, at least to start with. I was using the dual swords. Someone said the dual swords are not good for boss fights, because I did a video saying that I found them early in the game. You can use them for an early build. They're fantastic. Someone said they're not great for boss fights because I mentioned I hadn't tried a boss with them. But yeah, they're the weapon I took this boss down with, and I struggled with other weapons, other loadouts and stuff. It was actually the dual swords that pretty much carried me through this, because when you're attacking with the dual swords, you're gaining spirit, you're getting positive spirit from them. So I was able to use my spirit attacks and lower down the high end of the spirit gauge for the boss. So I was dealing more critical blows, or whatever you want to call them, where you get to, like, the reticle goes orange, you get to use a spirit attack and deal massive amounts of damage. But yeah, I was just letting my companions do their thing. I was getting in there and dealing damage when I could. Deflecting, like, you've got to practice this stuff. Deflecting is going to need to be pretty much mastered at this point. And moving forward with the game, I believe it's just going to get harder. You need to be able to crack the timing on deflecting when you are facing your opponents. And one thing I recommend is hold down your guard button or your block button, because that way if you do miss the deflect timing, you can practice with it. You get multiple attempts with the boss fight. It's not a one and done thing. But if you're holding down the block button and you miss the deflect timing, you can still block some of the attacks. And then it's just about using your Divine Beast. It's about using your spirit attack when possible, trying to keep your companions alive, deflecting, trying to keep yourself alive, and it's just a battle of like how long can you stay in this arena whilst dealing damage to this boss. As I said, besides Zhang Liang, this is the toughest boss I've taken on in this game so far. This one was the only one that's actually forced me to make sure I've got all of the battle flags and the marking flags raised. But that's my recommendations, my tips. You don't need a specific build or anything like that. I had the most success with the dual swords, but you don't need them. You can try lots of different weapons and loadouts and stuff. But that was my tips on how to beat Aoye in Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. That's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about the game in the comments, and check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.